Let's go back 66 million years ago. Imagine this, the worst day in the history of life on Earth is just beginning. And what's coming? An asteroid bigger than Mount Everest, and it's on a collision course, about to completely rewrite the future of our planet. The power of this impact, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around it. We are talking about the explosive force of 10 billion atomic bombs, all going off at the exact same catastrophic moment. And the crazy part? It arrived with absolutely no warning. This thing came rocketing in, hurtling toward Earth at 3 times the speed of a bullet. There was no time to react, no time to run, no time to hide. Just impact. Okay, so let's just imagine for a second. What if that happened today? The consequences are, well, they're beyond terrifying. In an instant, all of Central America and the southern US would just be vaporized, gone. 100 million people would die in seconds. And get this, the sound of the impact alone would be powerful enough to kill anyone standing 1,500 kilometers away. And believe it or not, that's just what happens at ground zero. The shockwave from this thing wouldn't just travel through the air. Oh no, it would travel through the entire planets.
So within minutes, the whole globe would be shaking from earthquakes between magnitude 9 and 11. To put that in perspective for you, that's stronger than any earthquake we have ever recorded in all of human history. Just think about that.
All that shaking ground, of course, is going to displace a staggering amount of ocean water. And you know what that means? It's going to trigger the next wave of destruction.
We're talking about mega-tsunamis, 100 meters tall, just scouring the world's coastlines, flooding everything up to 100 kilometers inland. The human cost? It's almost too much to think about. Over 3 billion people live in those zones. The death toll would just be astronomical. Now, if you somehow managed to survive the initial blast, the earthquakes, and the tsunamis, the sky itself would turn against you. Molten debris from the impact would start raining back down, and the entire planet would basically become a giant oven, igniting wildfires everywhere. But here's the thing. After all that fire, all that fury, the immediate chaos, it would eventually die down. And that's when a much more sinister, long-lasting threat would emerge. You see, the true killer wouldn't be the heat, but the cold. Massive clouds of dust and soot would literally blanket the Earth, blocking out the sun. And we're not talking for a day or a month, we're talking for up to 15 years. And here's the crucial part. Without sunlight, photosynthesis just stops. That means crops fail all over the world. Fresh water gets contaminated by acid rain, and pretty soon, famine becomes the #1 killer, with a potential death toll in the billions. So you've got a frozen, dark, starving world. The question is, how could humanity possibly survive that? Well, to figure that out, we'd have to look to the past. We would literally adopt the same strategy our tiny, shrew-like mammal ancestors used to survive the last apocalypse. And what did they do? They hid. Okay, so our survival plan would have 3 key parts. Step 1, go underground. We'd have to repurpose all those mines, caves, and subway tunnels into fortified cities. Step 2, secure the essentials. We'd need nuclear reactors for power, since there's no sun, and deep silos to protect our water from that acid rain. And step 3, farm in the dark. That means cultivating things like fungi and algae. Not exactly a 5-star meal, I know, but they're super efficient food sources for a world without sun. So that's the reactive plan, right? It's grim, for sure, but it's a possible path to survival. But what if we didn't have to just react? What if we actually knew it was coming? And this is the amazing part. This isn't science fiction anymore. Back in 2022, NASA's DART mission proved we actually have a defense. They slammed a satellite into an asteroid 11 million kilometers away, and they changed its course. We now have concrete proof that we have the power to save ourselves. So our whole defense plan can become proactive instead of reactive. It's like this. On one side, you have the threat, this monstrous 10-kilometer wide dinosaur killer. And on the other side, you have our arsenal of solutions. We could use impactors like DART, maybe detonate high explosives nearby to just nudge it off course. Or we could even get more surgical, using things like lasers or giant solar sails to gently push it into a safer orbit.
Now, the good news is astronomers have pretty much mapped all the big known threats inside our solar system. And thankfully, none of them are on a collision course with us. But that leaves one final, kinda chilling question. We might be ready for the threats we can see, but what about the one we don't see coming? The one that comes from the dark, from outside our solar system, and arrives with almost no warning.